No, or okay, I think my first slide had that message very clearly about 1 minute. I'm just trying to see. Yeah. So in fact, my first, my welcome screen itself had the link, okay, YouTube channel. So what most of the sessions, what we do, we record these sessions and post it in the YouTube channel. So I request all of you, we may not be able to send you individually, but you all can please go to YouTube. We have a ISACA Bangalore channel, and definitely very soon you will be finding this recording there. So absolutely, yes, so that's point. So great. So now, okay, can't access link this slide. So I'm okay. I'm not sure. Yeah, so all session recordings are available in the YouTube channel. Please go back. There are a lot of interesting sessions for the last 3-4 sessions on PDPA, on BCP, on Zero Trust, and I think the last session was very interesting on risk management. Again, I don't want to go there. But once again, welcome you all to this introduction session. So I quickly, I spoken about the overview, what we'll be covering. So this is what we normally cover. So let me straight get into, I don't have slide for each one of them because I thought, let me show you live straight away instead of showing slides. So I think all of you, I'm sure, I normally start my discussion about what is ISACA. In fact, many of you, I don't know if you're already keeping track, but if not, so typically what we call ISACA or ISACA, whatever we want to spell. So typically they go back to the old, means traditionally it was called as EDP, in fact, Auditors Association. I'm not sure how many of you know EDP. Of course, a little gray guys. I started my days with EDP, Electronic Data Processing. So that's how EDP, Auditors Association, was the name of ISACA. In fact, why I suddenly went to this site, there is an excellent site called ISACA50.org. I request all of you to go there. I'm just live browsing that site. So please go to timeline. I think I'll not take time to explain the whole timeline, how ISACA started. In fact, last year, there's a whole, last year, the whole theme was ISACA 50, means it celebrated 50 years. So that itself shows that how old is ISACA. In fact, this timeline is very interesting. It's not only ISACA timeline, but overall major events in the whole information systems domain, what all changes happen. I'm sure all of you who are keeping track, see the way how in 69, in fact, it's as good as my, how much old I am. So same, I am all 69 born. So EDP, Auditors Association, this is how it started. And then again, I'll not take you through, but then this is how the journey started. Interesting journey. I think it's wonderful to go back and see the early logo of CISA. In fact, somewhere in 78, the CISA was introduced. Now, I'm sure all of you know, CISA is a flagship certification, highly, in fact, renowned, world-renowned certification. We'll discuss about that more. And that's how you can see, in fact, major other events. This is really worth to look at this. And I'm sure all of you are aware of the changes in the overall global economy and various governance failures. And in fact, that's where, in fact, ISACA became more relevant in the context of how basically, in fact, ISACA being a not-for-profit body, research body, especially a community body where a lot of research work has been done around governance, risk, compliance, frameworks, and various other things what we'll be discussing. So, of course, today they celebrate 50, more than 50 years. So this is how, it's a chapter-based organization, member-based organization. So today, I think there are close to 2 million members or more, and around 200 cities where there are major chapters. COVID was introduced in 96. Again, I don't want to take you through each of them. I'm sure most of you know in year 2000 was a great year where the Y2K, right? I think we all cannot forget Y2K, right? In fact, so year 2000, then in 2002, CISM was launched, where security, cyber security, information security, the need for having a security team or a specific focus of a CISO office was really felt and understood because of the growing compliances. I'm sure all of you know 2002 was also a remarkable year in US around SOX compliance. I'm sure all of you understand the governance failures of WorldCom, Enron, right, which really brought the need for having the SOX compliance, and that was one of the key factors, right? In fact, uh, again, so 2005, again, CGAT was introduced in 2007. Again, I don't want to take you through each of the timeline, but CRISC was again a great addition to the ISACA family of certifications. CRISC really caught momentum because of the growing, basically the concerns around risk. I think today everything what we do is all risk based, right? Whether you audit or everything is around risk. So CRISC predominantly a very IT risk certification. In fact, many organizations have taken the leap, or rather put this as part of the job description. If you are working in first line, second line, especially in the CR office, chief risk office, or a CISO office, I know many banks have put CRISC as a mandatory certification. That's how it starts gaining momentum. Again, COVID 5 was again a remarkable launch, and then CA6, ISACA felt that they also had to get into the cyber security. That's how the CA6 separate website and all that was launched. And then ISACA acquired CMMI Institute. Again, I just leave it for you to explore this site, ISACA50.org timeline, and it's wonderful. It's a great site. So I thought that's how I want to introduce you to ISACA. Now, all of you can go back to ISACA.org. So I told you I don't want to make it a PPT show. So I thought this is just for my reference that we'll be covering all these things. I'll also again turn back to my other co-panelists and for their thoughts and for their views also. But then I thought first because we have a long session, so let me first cover the basics and then we'll go back and understand from different perspectives from our other co-panelists also. So ISACA 50, great, I think great site, all of you, and the story gallery, there's a lot of things, in fact, out there for you. There's a lot of information already out there. It's not that but then again, I'm just trying to make it easy for you so that you can easily navigate. So this is the ISACA.org website, the global website. So why ISACA? I think I don't want to spend too much time. So about ISACA, definitely is one of the, so I think if you go to About Us, there's a lot of information out there. I don't want to read out everything, the purpose, the promise, why ISACA was built, was brought in, and definitely the history, which I already took you. So take a look back, it takes you back to the ISACA, the timelines. So, and then of course, there's a lot of information out there. I told you it's a pure member-based organization, chapter-based organization. It's a community. Basically, ISACA is more of a community, or I can say like it's like when you join ISACA, you're joining an information systems fraternity, right? Wherever you go, you find your ISACA colleague, your ISACA fraternity person. It's very happy to see them. In fact, I love this community, and I've been an active ISACA member for more than 13 years, or I should say 14 years this year. So I'm a platinum member. Again, I don't want to talk more about myself, but then yes. So this is quickly about ISACA. I'm not spending too much time. We'll come back again about ISACA, about membership. Probably I'll come back, but then coming back to, because this whole session is basically hosted by ISACA Bangalore chapter. I'm sure all of you know this is one of the largest chapter. We are a very large chapter with close to 1,500 members, very active chapter with a lot of events taking place, and constantly we ensure that we keep our members engaged. So this is so quickly about ISACA Bangalore. So you can go to isacabangalore.org. It will take you to this site. It's a new engage portal. You just type isacabangalore.org, so it will take you to automatically take you to the engage portal of the ISACA. Today's all chapters are supposed to use this engage platform. It's very engaging. I'll talk about engage also. So quickly, not spending too much time about the Bangalore chapter. You can just see it was in fact formed, or it was in fact in 96. So it's a very old chapter. Now you can understand. So 96 is a very old. So this is the 138th chapter globally, of course, and I think you can see here. So this is so every year, of course, we have this board formation somewhere around October, along with AGM. There'll be the board formation, and every year the board gets formed. I'm sure you can also, it's a pure voluntary organization. So let me spend quick time about how this whole ISACA works. So we are from the Bangalore chapter. You can all see my screen. This is the current board composition. So all great industry veterans. So I'm myself Satish. In fact, I'm the president currently. Of course, more than president, I've been very actively. It's more about passion. I've been actively involved with ISACA Bangalore for close to, I think, more than a decade now. So I love teaching, coaching, and of course mentoring. I think many of you, when you come back and join the classes, you will definitely see me there. In fact, I love to teach, coach, mentor. I myself am certified on all four CISA, CISM, CIRISC, and CGIT. And along with that, I'm also accredited trainer for the chapter. Along with me is also Rajesh, is also a trainer, accredited trainer. We both are accredited trainers. And of course, I think along with me in the panel, we have a few of my board members. I think Venki has joined. He's the vice president. I'm not sure about Raj, but then few of them are there. Probably just in between, I will also, I want them also to just put their thoughts. We also have, so just to quickly talk about most of us, I'm sure not most, all of us, we're all, I think you all know how ISACA works. We're all volunteers there. We have our own day jobs. We have our own day jobs. In fact, I myself, I'm a CISO at a fintech company. And of course, Venki works with Wells Fargo, and Raj works with the entity. I don't want to go with each one of them, but then yes, all of us have our own day jobs, but then we are just volunteering. So that's very important to understand. It's not that we are paid or we are just employees. So this is the board composition. Of course, all of them are very active. Ganesh Ramani comes from Shell. Nitin comes from Omega Healthcare. Again, I'm not skipping anyone, but then again, so Mr. Upadhyay comes from Syndicate Bank, of course, today Canara Bank, and we have many more. So I thought now I think it just quickly, it's just to just make it more engaging. Maybe I just want to, so Venki, you just want to add some thoughts quickly, maybe just quick 2 minutes. Venki, you want to just speak so that I just also, I just have a pause and then I'll think I'll get back to the session. So Venki.
Sure, Satish. Thank you so much. Firstly, a very warm welcome to all the members who've joined today. I know we are currently in a situation where we really can't step out, and these forums would actually help us to use our time in a very productive manner. So we from ISACA Bangalore chapter wanted to make it convenient to all the members and non-members to really spend their time in a very qualitative manner, take decisions on what they need to achieve, how beneficial is this certification going to be for them. And also we want to actually give you some bit of insights about what each of these certifications are going to be helpful for. There are a lot of queries where team members or some of the members come and ask us as to would CIRISC be beneficial, would CISA be beneficial, or would CSM be beneficial. So this is a class which will actually help you guide as to what would actually be beneficial for you. There are 2-3 things that you need to really be considering. First and foremost step is like, what is it that you really want to achieve? Where do you really want to see yourself in the next 3 or 5 years? Depending on that, it becomes very easy for you to navigate through which certification will help you. And also, you don't really have to be worried about, I'm not a technical guy, therefore will these certifications be apt for me or will it be difficult for me? Trust me, there are not a lot of non-technical folks who have cleared the exams in the very first attempt. And I'm sure Satish will touch upon that later on. But those who are already certified, those who are already in the technical field, sometimes may not really be able to clear it in the first attempt. The simple reason being the ground reality, and they'll try to implement certain things which is actually happening on the ground, and therefore sometimes they may not really be able to succeed. But yes, the manuals that is being provided is the Bible. Need to really be going through the materials, and that will actually help any individual to clear the exams if they're giving that complete focus, at least like 2 to 3 hours in a day. And I'm sure you'll be able to successfully complete these certifications. This is not just about completing the certifications, it's more about gathering knowledge. And it's very, very important that we all understand and read through the material and go through every line by line, and get the insights, so that it actually helps us to be a better risk professional. It shouldn't be that okay, you are having the series called CISA or whatever certification, and some basic questions being asked, we are not in a position to answer. So this will actually equip us to really give the relevant responses, and look at things in a risk view. And it is going to be helpful, I'm telling you guys. For the next 2 hours, I'm sure you will all enjoy. I know I can keep talking for hours, but then I don't really want to hijack the session. I would again thank all of you for joining, taking this time out. Please ask all your questions, and we're more than happy to answer all those questions. But first, I would suggest listening to the complete presentation, so that certain questions that you may have would get answered during the course of the presentation itself. And if you have any questions that are unanswered, please ask them towards the end.
Okay, fine. So thanks, Vinky. I think please request all of you to put your questions in the Q&A box. Definitely in between, or as we get to the session, I'll be, or maybe my co-panelist will be covering those questions. So thanks, Vinky. So let's. So I'll keep coming back to my other panelists also in between. So I think let's. It's a long thing. So quickly, I'm just trying to. This is just for my reference what I will be covering. So I've spoken about Bangalore chapter. Of course, so you can just go and have a look at the Bangalore chapter website. Of course, there's nothing, most of the information is out there in the ISACA website. So here you can find the events of the local chapter, calendar of events. You can go even including this event, or if you go back to the past events, so what all events in fact took place, you can see the number of events, of course, the review classes and the number of sessions so all those information mostly is out there. You also get notified if you are a ISACA Bangalore chapter member. You get notified automatically in your mailbox. But you can also keep looking at all those events, and most of these events are recorded, of course, except the classes. But most of the CP sessions are recorded and kept in the YouTube channel for your later viewing. Of course, YouTube channel recordings will not fetch you CPs. Of course, only live CPs are given when you attend. But then yes, so that is the quick summary of the ISACA Bangalore chapter. There's nothing much out there, but yes, keep looking at that. So I've spoken about the ISACA50.org, and then let's get back to the certifications. Or I think that's the. I'm just trying to see am I missing anything. So ISACA membership, yes. So I can just keep talking at least for more than an hour about membership, but then let's quickly. So I think I'm sure all of you understand. So that's where I thought instead of slides, let me straight navigate to the website. Go to ISACA.org. It's a very, in fact, I should say very active or very responsive website. The changes have been, so go to membership and please look at the professional membership. And there are, of course, there are membership levels, which I was talking about. So, and there are membership benefits. So I recommend all of you, because that's the starting point. The first point is to take membership, become a member, and then start getting engaged. I think that's the whole the model in which normally this chapter or ISACA works. So I told you, I myself and of course my other co-panelists so they're all at different levels. So I told you I've been very active in this ISACA. Of course, I did my CISA somewhere in 2000, I think 4 or 5, I don't remember now, but 2005 or 4 onwards I'm a member. So I'm at a platinum level. So basically your membership, if you're a continued member, you start getting these levels and also start getting more benefits. So this is the membership levels. I think the moment you become member, that's where you start engaging with. So I'll talk about the Engage platform, which is a great. So there are also parallelly, I'm looking at the. I know sometimes it's distracting, but keep coming your chat questions. Will we get CP for today's session? I think I did not speak about that in the initial day. This is not a CP session. This is an introduction session. Because there's no learning as such. This is more about introducing the ISACA certifications. So yes, the next CP session, you'll get 2 hour CPs next Saturday. Of course, last Saturday itself, we had an excellent session on risk management. The recording is available on the YouTube channel. Today's session is not a CP session. So good, so that I clarified otherwise. So again, it's not about CP, but then a lot of interesting things. you will come to know about various certifications and also the new certification CDPSC, which we'll talk in a moment now. So again, so quickly talk about membership. I don't want to spend too much time. So it's a great value. I know you, so this is while taking membership, you'll be asked to join a particular chapter. I'm sure if someone is joining from some other city, please look at your own local city chapter. Again, it's not that, so I know there are a lot of participants joining from different cities, or I should say from different countries also. Somewhere it's very interesting to see participants from different countries also. In fact, in the last CPE session, we had people from 12 countries. I was surprised to see from UK, from Nigeria, from Sri Lanka, and whatnot. So excellent, great. So please keep joining our sessions. We are normally keeping the sessions open to all because of the current situation, of the current lockdown situation, because we want to give the benefit to all of them. But yes, so when you take a membership, you can look at your local chapter. I'm sure all of you understand. You can go to browse chapters. Of course, India itself has got many chapters, all major cities, even smaller cities like probably Trivandrum, Cochin, and Coimbatore has got chapters. So everywhere there are chapters. You can join your local chapter and see. Of course, Bangalore guys, of course, please join Bangalore chapter, one of the most active chapter. And this event is hosted by Bangalore chapter. And so again, I don't want to spend too much time on what you get out of membership. In fact, you can go to member benefits. I can just spend one full hour, but then I don't want to, because I want to spend more time on certifications, and also rather I want to spend more time on answering to your Q&As, because a lot of questions have come in. So membership benefits, because people ask, why should I pay that money? Because now the point is, a lot of time these questions come, why should I pay that $135? So there is some, I don't remember where is the document, but there's a document which ISACA gives, which talks about you pay $135, of course, and you get more than $500 worth of information, worth of value. I think it's all about value. Right? It's not about what money you pay, but the value what you get. Normally, I call myself, because I feel that only the journal, the ISACA journal itself, right? I think typically we Indians, right? Again, I don't want to use Hindi, but paisa vasool, right? I think the journal itself, paisa vasool ho jata hai, like if you understand Hindi. So I love this journal. I wait for the journal when it comes, and excellent articles by industry veterans. So I think it's all about what value, right? And a lot of other things like frameworks, standards, models, and all are available free for download, right? So that way, again, I don't want to spend too much time, but then there's a lot of value for the ISACA members. So the first step is to become a member, means you start joining the community, you're part of the fraternity, and I think you keep renewing every year, so that your membership levels, you keep increasing your level from bronze to silver to gold to platinum. And that's, I think you can flaunt, right? You can say, yes, I'm a gold member of ISACA. Please understand, you go to any part of the world, you'll find a co-ISACA member. You say, oh, great, hey man, I am from Bangalore chapter. Then someone will say, oh, great, I am from this chapter. I think you'll be surprised. I don't want to spend too much time and nothing talking personal, but then whenever I travel, right, any city, I just see that I go to the local chapter. In fact, very interesting, my son studies at Duke University. I'm sure many of you know, Duke is in North Carolina State, a place called Durham, which is called as Research Triangle Park, that RT. So whenever I go to see my son, I ensure that I talk to a few of the guys locally there, because differently the ISACA chapter, it's called RTC, Research Triangle Chapter. Very interesting. I love to catch up with few of the co-ISACA members. It's great. It's a great fraternity. It's a great community. In fact, again, it's all about networking, all about value. I'll talk about Engage platform. We can get engaged, get a lot of value out of ISACA. So I can keep talking, I said, but then please go back, look at the membership, look at the benefits, and of course the levels. You can join the local chapter, join now right away. If your membership has been, last year you could not renew, I'm sure all of you know December is the renewal time, but they give time till March. I understand many of them could not renew the membership, but you can reinstate right now, because till May they have extended because of the current COVID situation. You can still reinstate a membership, certifications, and be active again. So that's about membership. So again, so parallelly, I keep looking at the Q&A. Okay, not Q&A, but the chat window. So that's something coming in. And also in between, I want to go back to my co-panelist also sometime, just to keep it more engaging. So I just want to go back to my co-panelist, or in fact, my very close friend, or I should say industry colleague, Vaidinathan Iyer, who is a industry veteran from IBM. He's also, in fact, he was very active in ISACA Bangalore. In between, he got busy and he came back to, we just co-opted him recently. And so Vaidi, if you don't mind, if you can unmute and just talk about a quick ISACA value, how do you see, that will be great for the members.
Hey, hi, thanks, Satish. I hope I'm audible.
Absolutely, yes, very clear, loud and clear.
Hey, thank you, thank you. Hey, hi, everyone. Good evening, good morning, from whichever part of the world you are. My name is Vaidinathan Iyer. I work for IBM. I've been part of ISACA for many, many years. I have forgotten when I joined ISACA, and I hold a couple of certifications from ISACA. And I can really tell you, at whatever stage of career you are, whether you are a fresher, you are experienced, or you are in the middle trying to do a lateral movement. And if you're interested in information systems and security, this is one qualification which really the employers, even within the organization, when you're growing up the cadre, and it has personally helped me, so I can vouch for it. They look at it, when you talk to the industry, when you go to industry, you have discussions, you make presentations, you talk to your colleagues, you talk to your upper management. It helps you to bring a different perspective. It helps you to bring a different value to the whole setup. And in addition to that, it is not just about certification, right? I mean, all of us have, once we take the certification, it doesn't mean that we live with that certification. The continuing CPE session, the continuing professional education, what ISACA does every month here, every chapter of ISACA does that adds a lot of value. The old adage stands that, we never stop learning, right? I, Satish, a lot of these members, a lot of the executive committee members are all veterans in the industry. We keep learning from each other, and we keep learning so learning can happen from anywhere. And ISACA is a forum where there is no limit to what you can learn. So I encourage each one of you first to take the membership of ISACA, which is extremely important, because the kind of value that you can get from membership, and all of us have experienced it, every day we experience it, that is tremendous. And that value is actually, cannot be counted in terms of dollars or rupees or cents, whatever it is. That is something which we need to experience. Become a member, and I hope that you are able to get into the certifications and attend the CPE sessions of ISACA. It will put you on a completely different pedestal as you move forward in your professional life. Satish, over to you.
Thanks, Vaidi. In fact, thank you very much. In fact, putting that insights. So yes, as Vaidi said, I believe membership is, I don't see that as membership fees, but it's more of an investment for your personal growth. As Vaidi said, so it's basically you're investing for yourself. So with that, I think let's move to the next point, that is certifications. I think I've spoken about, so I'm just going back here just to see, am I covering everything? So we've spoken about ISACA, about Bangalore chapter, about the membership value, about the benefits. Now let's move to the certifications. Yes, I think that's where most of you are eager to know, and what certifications. I'm sure all of you know these are the 4 key certifications, absolutely, and of course there are few more also. Now quickly, so this is from out of all this list, of course, the most favorite, or I should say the flagship certification, CISA, I'm sure. So I'll quickly spend 2 minutes time with each one of them, and then we can get into more details, and then of course we'll talk about Q&A and all that. So I think most of you know, whenever ISACA, basically it's known for CISA, because it started with IS audit, right? I'm sure all of us understand basically. So here I just want to, because as a CISO, because again I'm in this industry for now close to 30 years now. So just because I started my journey with, of course, I did my CISA long back, and then I did my CISM, and then of course did my CRISC, and then CGIT, and that's how I progressed. And then of course with various roles, I was with IBM for a long time. I used to do a lot of consulting, and then of course today I work with a fintech company as a CISO. So why and then I want to map it back, each of the certifications to each of this domain, each of the industry, in fact verticals, or I should say the industry path, or means where the certification will take you. So So normally, I know it's a online, so you don't see me, but so that's where I want to make it more interesting, or rather more engaging. So just to talk about the context, basically today, I'm sure all of us. So normally in a classroom, or normally in a face-to-face, I start by talking about why all these things, why information systems, why you require this audits, why assurance, why risk management. So I think let's go back. So I think let's talk about how the industry has really transformed. Today, I'm sure all of you understand I should say every enterprise, small, medium, large, whatever scale in size today, I think I'm sure all of you agree with me today, every enterprise, small, medium, large, right, has got some or other or more dependency on IT systems, right? So information systems, I think they are so indispensable today, and there's so much out there today. Every organization, whether it's a bank or a financial organization, even a manufacturing organization, any organization you go, I think there's so much of digitization, right? I think we go back to the early days, we used to talk computerization, then we talk digitization. Today, the buzzword is digital transformation. I'm sure all of you agree with me. Digital transformation. I think if I give the mic to Vaidi will speak full day about digital transformation and of course whatnot, every organization. So in that context today, every organization, the point is spending, right? Is spending a lot of spending on these various systems, whether it's a ERP or a CRM or supply chain or whichever, whatever. So when there's so much of spending is being done there, so it's very important to ensure that these systems are safe, secure, and end of the day, at a management level, at the board level, the board means whoever the sponsor is putting money, they're concerned, or they also want to get assurance that whatever money we have spent on this whole digital transformation journey, are we getting the value? Of course, it's a very fundamental question to ask, are we getting value? Because naturally, no company will spend money just like that without getting value. So I think that's the key point where I normally call today, probably go back to the early days, this whole IT security, or I should say that's how it started, right? IT security, information security transformed into cyber security. So probably in maybe 10 years back or 5 years back, we used to look IT security, cyber security as a IT problem. Now today, with so much of digitization, so much of transformation, so much of dependency on IT systems, if today in any organization your IT is, when I say IT, your systems are down, I think organizations comes to a standstill. And my favorite example, I keep talking that in every classroom, that when Ford Motors, of course, the whole Ford runs on SAP. Again, it's not about SAP, but most of the organizations use ERP. If in the Ford Motors, SAP is down, the factory is down because everything comes to standstill. I think something same like any large bank, if core banking is down, of course, banking comes to standstill. So they cannot afford downtime. They cannot afford any intrusion. They cannot afford any data breach or any outage. So that is the whole message, which of course today, I know I can keep talking the whole 2 hours about this, but then because that's very close to my heart, because that's what I do. That's what I do for a living. I speak that in every forum. So digital transformation is key today. And adding to that, cyber security is so tightly embedded today in these transformation projects, because if you do not think cyber security, IT security, information security right at the design level, right at the very early stage of thinking stage, I think it becomes catastrophic. Many organizations, what we saw, who probably have never thought security as a business problem. So the point, the final message, what I want to give is, so today, in fact, IT security, cyber security is no more a IT problem. It is a business issue. It's a business. So that's the reason why today cyber security is a discussion at the board level. I'm sure all of you will agree with me today. At the board level, I know. In fact, just lighter said, because as a CISO, I know. In fact, we never had any attention. Of course, I started my days as an IT head for a manufacturing organization. I don't want to talk too much about myself, but then I started my journey as an EDP officer for an enterprise called Sterlite Industries. Of course, so today Vedanta means okay. Today I can call. Today's world we call CIO role, whatever. I used to play that role. Of course, I was instrumental in getting SAP there. And But having said that, so that point of time, I used to report to CFO, naturally, because those old days, I'm talking about 20 years back, old journey when I started my days. So of course, because nor board, nor my CEO, nor they never understood there's something called IT department. It's more like a support function, more like a backend function. But today's CIOs, the CISOs, CTOs, or the CRO, or the CPO, Chief Privacy Officer, they play a very, very important role in the larger business. Today they have a say even at the strategic meetings. They are invited for every strategic discussions. So at the board level also, there is a lot of attention on cyber security. Now, why I'm giving this background? You may feel that why am I talking all these things? Why I'm not talking certifications? But I thought before I talk certifications, let me talk about the context first, the industry first, because the next question we'll ask, I know a lot of questions, why CISA, how CISA is helpful, why CISM is helpful, why C-risk. I think the point is to understand context-wise today, how today the industry is moving and why these people with these certifications really add a lot of value. In fact, basically these guys with these certifications work as a trusted advisors, in fact, in whatever function you play. So that is the background I thought first let me give you and then talk about certifications. I hope you enjoyed. Okay, because I know I need to be concerned about time, but otherwise I'll keep talking. Normally I keep talking about the cyber security, how this whole SMAC stack, I cannot stop not talking SMAC stack. I'm sure all of you understand the SMAC stack today. Every enterprise, small, medium, large, in fact, embraces the whole SMAC stack. When I say SMAC stack, the SMAC stack is social, mobile, analytics, and cloud, right? Is there any organization who is not embracing the SMAC stack? So why am I putting all these things? To put into perspective that all these things, while the CIOs, the CEOs will embrace all these things, but you and me as a information security professional should be concerned about the risks around social platforms, risks on introducing BIOD, risks on exposing this data, risks on getting into cloud. I'm not saying it's bad. You need to embrace all these things, but equally, we need to be concerned. That's where, in fact, today, because there's a lot of, again, I can just, let me talk about next 2 minutes about regulations, about the drivers. One of the key driver is, one side is no doubt, the CEOs are putting a lot of pressure and they are looking up to the CIO, CTO and CISO and other guys to see how these guys can help the business to solve certain business problems. So that is part of the whole digital transformation journey. But then the other key point is, so because today there's so much of regulations out there, I don't think today, while no doubt many organizations do this as best practices, but there's so much of regulations today. Why today most of the banking organizations take security very seriously? Because of the regulations. It is not that, of course, many years back, banking was the only sector where a lot of investments used to happen, whether it's a SOC or whether it's a whatever next generation firewall, implementations, lot of money is spent. Because why? Because that's where the juice is, and the attackers are always behind these banks, financial institutions, because that's where the whole data value, and of course, so I think that's the point, because, and regulations makes them life miserable to see that are you ensuring that whether whatever data you have, because today data is the crown jewels, and that's the data is everything, right? So today, I think that the point is, so all the regulated industries, of course, right from go back to the old SOX days to various sectoral regulations. I don't want to touch upon every regulation, but look at India. RBI, in fact, came out with an extensive cyber security framework, which tells you how it's important to have audits as mandatory. It's no more luxury. Having BCP as mandatory, having SOC as mandatory, having all the controls in place. The point is now, there is so much out there to implement, but then there has to be certain guys, knowledgeable guys, to ensure that these are implemented correctly, these are audited correctly, and all these things what we implement as a context of risk. So are you managing your risks appropriately? And that is the whole context in which all the certifications, we will talk about each certification, but every certification, there's a lot of overlap on governance, risk, compliance, controls. Each of the certifications will talk more or less all these things. There's a lot of overlap, no doubt. CISA talks risk management, talks governance, talks controls. C-risk also talks same, CISM also talks same, but only the exam point of view, and it's more like concentration approach. Like if you want to focus only on risk, probably you can focus on C-risk. Now, again, I'll get into the more details. Please understand, each of these certifications are independent by nature. There's no sequence. While there is some sequence, it has been displayed here. There is no sequence at all. You want to work in a CISO office, your aspiration is to become a security manager, you come from IT domain, you want to aspire to become a security manager, you want to work in a security domain, you want to work in an internal organization into CISO office or a CIO office. If you ask me, this is a common question I keep getting, which certification is right to start? I think CISM is good way to start. You understand? So please make it very clear. It's not a sequence. It's not that you have to do CISA first and then CISM. All these are standalone independent certifications. You may start with CISM. Many people start with CISM. And please understand, you have to start somewhere. Let me be very honest. I know, thanks to, I'm just also just being concerned about time. So I can see today there are around 160 people live joining. I think first of all, thanks to you to be here. First of all, the first step you've taken. What is first step? You're coming here and trying to understand what is this. Great. Thank you all of you once again. So you are here. So normally I do this even in normal intro session. I say, thanks, you came all the way to attend this session. Anyway, you are here now joining online from your home. That's great. Thanks to the lockdown COVID. But then yes, you took the efforts to come and join this session. Thanks to you. Second step, take membership. I keep repeating that again. Now, then decide on some certification. Don't worry. Start somewhere. If you ask me, I can touch base with you personally one-to-one. I can mentor you, coach you. We'll talk about that. Start somewhere. Don't worry at all. Nothing. It's an investment. You can start CISA, start CISM. No problem at all. Yes, we'll get into more detail. You want to make your career into audits, into assurance, into, I'm sure all of you understand audit, assurance, they all come under the large domain of providing assurance to the larger, what you call, stakeholders. In fact, in that context, CISA is an excellent certification. I'm sure most of you know most of the big four audit firms, right? I don't want to name them, but I know I don't want to tell. Of course, all of you know Deloitte, PwC, KPMG, EY, or Perpetuity, or which are Grant Thornton. There are so many organizations there who really prefer CISA. Because why? Because most of these organizations, the names which I took, and of course there are so many more out there, hundreds of organizations who do system audits. So what is that they prefer? They prefer CISA, no doubt about that. Because I've been doing these trainings for I think more than a decade. I would have trained thousands of professionals, and whenever in every batch I ask, because I talk to them, I like to talk to them. So I see a lot of CAs, even CAs, because chartered accountants, because they have been doing audits for their lifetime, but then today they want to do CISA because today it's all systems, right? While the CA Institute has got a certification called DISA, which is also powered by ISACA body of knowledge. It's called DISA only for the CA Institute. Of course, only for CAs, only for CAs. But then yes, DISA is only more local, but CISA is more global. So it's a great certification, no doubt. It's a great certification to start with. So CISA, again, we'll discuss more about CISA. I can take you through domains. Logically, in this sequence, if I want to talk, a C-risk. So I don't know whether am I going too fast. I hope, again, just to turn it back to the audience, not to my fellow panelists. Are you all enjoying? A quick yes in the chat box. Are you all enjoying? Are you all with me? You can type with me. Are you all with me? Is it making sense? Am I going too fast? Am I? Okay, great. So thanks. So the point is just to keep it engaging, because I can see you, you can't see me. I can, of course, I can put my webcam on, but again, that's not the point, because to save bandwidth, I'm not putting my, maybe somewhere in the Q&A, maybe I can show you my face, but then that's not the point. So great. So thanks all of you. I hope you're enjoying. Great. So I think you all are with me, and till now it's all made sense. Now let's get into the individual certifications. So this is just to talk about the key certifications of ISACA. Of course, today discussion will be mostly around CISA, CISM, C-risk, Seagate, what we call, and of course, I know many of you, I can see in the questions, you're all more excited to see about, understand more about CDPSC. Actually, it's called CDPC. I don't know, did I pronounce it right? It's called CDPC. I know it may not sound well, but then yes, CDPC is the new certification. It's an all new certification. I will spend some time. I made a slide for that specifically. I have a slide just to tell you that hold on. I have a detailed slide on CDPC because that's very new. Rest I did not have slides. I'll go back to the standard ISACA website, but CDPC I made a slide. I spent some time to give you more value because it's new. Definitely I'll go there. But then yes, let's first finish this quickly. So. And then I think I will open up questions. We'll spend more time on which certification, what value. I think now let me, instead of slides, it makes more sense to talk about, I think let's go to certifications. Why? Because I don't want to, then people say, okay, because it's not about slides, because again, it's nothing new. Everything is out there in the ISACA website. So let's go and look at the certifications. Excellent. So you can see this. There is so much of information out there. In fact, honestly, I'm just giving you I'm just being a navigator for you. It's not that I'm talking something new, and I'm just making it easy for you. So please go to CISA, say learn more. You will have tons of information out there. Why CISA? Why it is the highest paying certification? I'm sure you can go and Google. I think there are a lot of surveys. There is a survey from Global Knowledge. There is a survey from multiple third-party surveys which says the top certifications. If you pick up top certifications, always all 4 ISACA certifications are always on the top 4. No doubt about that. Again, with the due respect to other certification bodies, no doubt CISSP, no doubt CompTIA, Security Plus, EC Council, CH. All of them are great, but then again, this is from ISACA, so I'll not talk anything else. Of course, I'm also certified on other certifications, CompTIA, Security Plus, and all. Also, okay, one important part: ISACA, IC Square, CompTIA, CSA. All of them are vendor neutral bodies. They do not talk about any specific vendor certification. I'm sure all of you, many of you, may be CCNA or JCP or VCP or whatever, Juniper, Checkpoint. So all these are vendor certifications, but CISA, CISM, ISACA certifications are vendor neutral certification, which talks very broad, very high level, gives you a very broad coverage, and very interesting and highly, I should say, highly sought after certification. And of course, once you get the certification, normal people ask, what is the value will I get? So definitely it's again investment back to your career, and it takes your career to the next level. I think that's the message which is said, move your career forward with an ISACA certification, right? I think sometimes people come back and say, Satish, it's very expensive. Yes, I know it's expensive, but please understand, you are investing for yourself, right? So don't look at the money, because it's for your career. Your career will go to the next level. Your salary will become double, right? It's not that. So that is the point to talk about the certifications. Of course, as Venki said, you have to pick up the certification, what suits you, what is your roadmap, 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, where you want to see yourself. Today you may be an auditor, you may be a program manager, you may be a firewall analyst, you may be a IT guy, whatever domain you come from. No doubt, I told you, I came as a desktop engineer. You understand? Honestly, I don't want to. When I started my journey as a EDP. Okay, sorry to say, I started as a data entry operator. Nothing wrong in saying, because I come from pure hardcore IT. Then I moved to, of course, EDP as a EDP officer. Then I started my days with Novell, Unix, Solaris, and whatnot. Of course, that's where I enjoy. That's where people cannot fool me. When I go to audit, someone cannot say, Satish, this is a legacy system. Don't worry. I come from 30-year-old legacy. You don't need to worry about. I come from Novell and Unix and SCO-Unix, whatnot. No, that's the advantage for me. But that's, having said that, ISACA does not expect you to become master on technology. Not required. CAs do CISA. Now, ECA technology professional, not required, but they are very good at risk-based context. They are good at auditing. You learn everything. Please understand, that is the reason why you do CISA. You understand? It's not that. So when you do CISA, what you get is a wonderful. You can see all information. I pressed learn more. Now please see here the CISA difference. Now see the coverage. Now see the coverage. I get amazed to see the coverage. Sometimes it is overwhelming. We do the review class in chapter office, or of course today we're doing online. 5 domains in 5 weekends. It's a 5-day where I'll talk about classes. Of course, we'll talk about audit, we talk about governance, we talk about information systems, how organizations acquire, develop, implement, then the whole ITIL piece, and then of course the information security piece. Now see the depth. Now see the way it is covered. Now how to prepare for exam, how to pass the exam. I was seeing some chat message in between. CISA is tough. Hey guys, there's nothing called tough and easy in the world. Nothing comes easy, of course. Nothing. For me, I somehow like to make things in easy, very easy, honestly. Somehow, if you ask me, it is we who make complex. Yes or no? If you go back to the old days, right, your peer, your colleague will not share information because he wants to keep it with him. I love to share information. I make it so exhaustive when I teach. I think it's nothing tough. You have to just have the right perspective, the right motivation, the passion in which, if you want to learn, and today thanks to the internet and there's so much of information out there, there is so much of information, so much. In fact, when I started my journey, there was no internet, right? So, but today we are there to help you in the local chapter. We are there. I myself would like to coach, mentor each one of you. If you want, please feel free to connect back to me on LinkedIn. I'll be happy to coach you. So anyway, so you please advance your career with this certification. So CISA is excellent. I don't want to get into too much detail. Please understand every information. If you press this button, detailed job descriptions are given. I am not going there. So CISA is more around assurance. Now let's get back. So CISA is great. Now let me now go and talk about C-risk, maybe in the same sequence. Okay. Don't worry, I'll answer back all your questions if you have. I know that a lot of questions keep coming in. My request, I'm looking at chat window, but chat window keeps running in. There are a lot of general comments. So my request, if you want me to answer a question, please put it in the Q&A window, because I want to leave my last 1 hour only for Q&A, because that's where it becomes very, very exciting. It becomes very exciting to talk about the Q&A. So please put it in the Q&A window so that I can address each one of them. Then C-risk. I told you already. Again, it's my perspective. Today, risk is so much embedded into every process. I'm sure you all agree, right? Whatever you do today, you may or may not, but everything is a risk-based approach. If it's audit, it's a risk-based audit. You are implementing something, it's a risk-based. You are implementing a firewall, a DDoS solution, or an IPS, or IDS, or AppSec. Why you do that? Why today you do code review? Because it's a risk if you leave your application vulnerable, yes or no? So today, everything what you do can tie it back, map it back to certain risk, which the bad guy, the attacker, the hacker is trying to exploit. Making sense? That is the whole connection what I want to make the connection. You understand? So today in organization, I think organizations are not fools to spend so much money. I'm sure each one of you are working somewhere. You can see, I know, just lighter side. I think I'm talking too much, but just as a pause. So if you ask me, no organization, see, in fact, in my organization, I'm a CISO there. Of course, I have one of my team member also here, and I think few of them are there. One of them is also part of the board, is the webmaster. He can also vouch for me. Or so none of the guys in my organization likes us. Because why? Because we are the guys. People feel we put breaks everywhere, right? Naturally, people normally feel, say, no one likes the security team, right? No one likes the CISO. So when I even go to any meeting, I say, yes, guys, I'm the bad guy, right? I know you may not like me, but then I tell that, please understand, I'm here to help you. I am here to enable business. The business, I want to enable business. Now, business should not come to standstill for any cyber attack or a cyber breach or any data loss. So I normally say, I'm like, okay, it's not me, it's my team or the CISO function or a security function is so relevant in the current context today with the growing breaches. So today's security function or a security manager or a CISO is like do you all agree with me? He's like a brake in the car. Now, my favorite thing, why you say brake in the car? Because while you press that accelerator to go on full speed, but if a brake is not working, can you go on full speed? No, you will crash into somewhere and you'll die. I think the CISO is there to ensure that there are enough controls, risks are managed. We are not here to put a brake, but we are here to put a brake or to ensure that the right controls are in there in the right perspective. So I tell, I am here, my team is here, we are here to enable business. Now that is where it becomes very important to manage risks. So the message what I'm giving is risk management. Risk management is absolutely essential today. I think if you have any of your friend working in a bank, please go back and talk to him. He may be working in first line or second line or third line. Of course, third line is audit. So they will tell you how important is the function. So there, a methodical approach means what? I know there's a lot of madness to this whole risk management. It's not easy. Okay, equally, it's not tough. When I teach risk, I make risk child play. Honestly, you believe you join my class, I'll make it child play. I just take the risk life cycle, risk journey so easy to understand. Why? Because the whole risk life cycle, right from risk identification, risk assessment, risk response mitigation, and of course risk control monitoring reporting. Amazing. I love this way ISACA series has been, the domains has been in fact brought in. Excellent body of knowledge. I think many of you know, every 4 years, each of the body of knowledge gets revised, gets updated. It's amazing to see the way ISACA works. It's a community. Please don't forget, industry veterans. ISACA really puts a lot of efforts to make this content current. Today, series is 6th edition manual out there. It's an amazing certification. I see a lot of traction on series today, and many organizations are making series mandatory in job description. Most of the banks, it's not only banks, of course, healthcare, many organizations today. In fact, because risk is very important. Now, because suddenly, when I said healthcare, I suddenly realized that I have a friend, of course, our co-panelist or co-board member, Nitin Gaur, who is the head of security, I can say CISO of Omega Healthcare. I know he may not like if I read out his company name. I'm sorry, Nitin, but yes. So Nitin, will you put a quick 2 minutes, I know, just only 1 minute, thoughts on, of course, how important is important to manage risks in healthcare, banking. I don't know if you don't mind, Nitin, if you can unmute and just give a perspective on just 1 minute. I'll be very happy, because you again get an industry perspective. You are out there managing a very important function in healthcare domain. Like I work in the fintech domain, a very critical domain. Nitin, can you just unmute and just put a quick 1 minute, 2 minutes thoughts of yours? Nitin, I don't know. Are you talking on mute? Or maybe, I don't know. I think, anyway, we'll not, maybe we can again get him back once. I think, Nitin, we can't hear you, but anyway, maybe if any technical difficulty he may be having, but otherwise, yes, again, I can talk about on behalf of him how important, again, because suddenly when I said healthcare, so I thought, let me get Nitin into, and also get some of his perspective, because he works with healthcare domain. But yes, again, we'll come back to understand, maybe in the Q&A, we'll get back and get his perspective also. I'm sure many of you understand it is so important to manage risks. Of course, it's not only healthcare, fine, honestly, everywhere, right? Every domain, everywhere, there are so much risks. Especially, I can talk about COVID. Yes, do you agree today with COVID? I think if you look at ISACA's, in fact, the homepage, there is so much of COVID information, navigating COVID, because today we all are working from home. It has suddenly the lockdown started. Many organizations started enabling everyone. Of course, we are the guys, IT guys, working from home. Don't you feel that the risk landscape has changed completely? Of course, yes. The risk landscape completely changed because of enabling work from home. And that, in fact, really put a lot of different perspective, because suddenly new risks have emerged. So focus of endpoint security, all that became very, very important to focus on. So managing risk is a constant process. It's a continuous journey. It's a continuous journey. It's not that you identify once. You constantly assess your risks and keep on looking at risks on a constant basis. So that's about the differentiation of this IT risk certification about C-risk. I can keep talking 1 full hour, but I told you I just want to leave the last 1 hour or more for questions. So I think I covered CISA, I covered C-risk. Let me quickly talk about CISM, because CISM, again, a very, very old, the favorite certification for security managers. Every CISO will love to have many, many CISMs in his team. Of course, please understand, again, lighter note, again, don't take me seriously. I know it's getting recorded, but again, I'm not talking anything specific, but then I don't know how many of you believe, or I don't know, can I make this statement? CISO life in your organization, I think there are a lot of surveys. There is a CSO online survey said that CISO life in our organization is not more than 18 months. You'll be surprised to know this statement. CISO life in an organization is not more than 18 months. Very interesting. I know, sorry to say, in Hindi, most of the organization CISO is a bakra. When I say bakra, whenever there is a, I know my other friends from other part of the world may not know what is bakra, but then CISO is a scapegoat most of time. When there is a breach, he's the man to lose his job. As we speak, we saw Equifax breach, or we saw, again, I don't want to name companies, but whichever information there out there, you can see CISOs lost their job. The point is, it's not about CISO, but then please understand, a CISO is only successful when he's got a battalion, he's got a great team under him who can really also work together with the vision what the CISO is trying to achieve with the larger organization goals. Do you all agree? If you all agree with me that a CISO is only successful when he has got a great security manager under him, or many, many managers under him. Do you all agree? Do you all agree? Type yes in the chat window and say CISM. CISM, yes. I just want to see how many of you are all ready for the CISO game. Again, just lighter side. Again, I'm not trying to sell anything. Okay, I did not make that statement in the beginning. Please understand, we are not here to sell you anything. It may look like I'm trying to sell anything. We are just all volunteers. We are just helping you to make your career. You understand? So again, I get my salary from my company, my day job. I'm again, just with passion, what I'm talking, and making it just easy for you to take the right certification with the right spirit, with the right intent to get the right mileage. So the point is, a CISO or a CIO is only successful when he has got a good army of people with the right knowledge. That is where the CISM comes very, very as a differentiator. CISM difference. Of course, you understand governance, because that's where the board, the policies all comes in. Risk management, I told you, risk is discussed everywhere, whether CISA or CISM, everywhere risk is discussed. Then the whole information security, how organization builds the whole security framework. Of course, today many organizations build the security framework based on industry standards like ISO 27001, a NIST framework. Of course, there are plenty of, depending on the organization type, size, scale, what suits you, you pick up the right framework. Please understand, ISACA takes all the best practices and puts the right perspective to ensure that in the class, we talk about all these industry frameworks at a high level, whether it's NIST, whether it's ISO 20001, or it is NIST CSF, or today, I'm sure all of you know, in the cloud context today, many organizations follow the CSA, CCM, Cloud Controls Matrix. There's a huge guidance on cloud controls. Of course, there are other industry guidances, regulatory guidances, like I told you, RBI guidance on cybersecurity framework, which also falls back on other industry standards. Like example, I don't know how many of you know, Indian IT Act, long back when IT Act came in 2008, it said that if organizations have ISO 20001 in place, it means that there is some reasonable assurance in place. So you understand why I suddenly went there? And of course, with the now PDPA coming in, I'm sure all of you know the Personal Data Protection Act, right? Of course, today it's a bill, which I'm sure the alternative of GDPR, okay, I'll not say alternative, sorry, the equivalent of GDPR for India is going to be, of course, that's where the CDPAC certification ISACA brought in because of GDPR and privacy becoming a very important focus. So when I talk privacy, along with privacy, we should also talk about security, yeah? Because privacy, I can achieve privacy by only data protection, right? By first of all identifying what is PII. That is where security, guys, becomes important. I'll discuss more about CDPAC. Then the last one, my favorite domain, is incident management. While we do all with the best intent, incidents are bound to happen. CISOs are not lucky. They only pray God that I should be lucky every day, right? But still there is breaches. I'm sure all of you are keeping track of the recent Cognizant Maze ransomware attack. I don't know how many of you read the recent report, I think, which came out in Business Today. It is very surprising to see, or not surprising, how much 50 to 70 million. Oh, mind-boggling. I never thought, again, because 50 to 70 million is what, please understand, it's not small amount. Probably that's a value for a mid-sized startup. Again, lighter note, it's a big impact. But yes, but that again, I'm not talking about Cognizant, but I'm talking generally, you can see the impact. Incidents are bound to happen. It is not about incidents. It's not about you falling. It's not about, but the point is resilience. Are you resilient? Can you come back? How quickly can you come back? Are you prepared? How much prepared are you? That is amazing. I love this domain. In fact, whenever I get a chance to talk about, I love to talk this domain. This is where BCP, DR, crisis, resilience, all that is discussed in domain. I'm sure all of you know the chapter classes, what we conduct. Each domain is normally discussed by an industry faculty. Normally, it's not that only I speak all domains. I think I told you there are different, we get different guys to speak on in the different domains. Of course, all industry guys, that's where our classes become very, very, in fact, very attractive or very meaningful and very experiential. So each of the domain, we get different faculty. Of course, I love to talk each of the domain, but yes, so normally I love to talk this domain because it is so much important in the current context. Anyway, I think I should make a pause and then probably go back. I think I covered all the domains, sorry, all the certifications. CGATE also is a great certification. Somehow did not caught up so much. I think it's getting revised now again. When I say getting revised, means you can see of course, I'm not saying it was bad, but then it was not revised probably. It is going through revision. But then even the old, I'm a CGATE, I'm certified. There are 5 domains, very interesting. It is very important for senior folks who work in the CIO strategy function, who are more at a strategic level. Basically, because CGATE is more around managing enterprise-wide, what you call, trying to align your IT objective and enterprise objective. Very interesting certification. But because it did not caught up attention, because CISA, CISM, series are more, of course, I'm not saying, so there are less CGATE guys, but then whoever took the CGATE, they really enjoyed. I myself enjoyed this because it's all, because I work at a very high level, because of course I also took my own journey, but after I did CGATE, I also got a lot of insights on how to manage the board, how to align strategically, how to make board realize that the benefits, risk optimization, very interesting. If you, of course, it's not for the first time guys, or not for the first time, means I'm not saying if you're already a senior guy with 25, 30 years experience, fair, but if you're just a 2, 3, 5, 6 years experience guy, I think I recommend you to start with CISA or CISM, or even CRISC also, but then it's a great certification. CGATE also is a great certification. It's getting revised, but I think with that, I covered all. I told you our discussion is more around, because this is all the 4 certifications. Normally we do classes at the chapter office, and that is the focus of this whole intro session. Naturally, no doubt, it is not that we are only discussing the whole point is to pull you back to the chapter review classes, which of course normally before the classes we do this session. That is the whole purpose, objective of this intro session. Of course, equally give you information. So I think I spoken about all the certifications. I'm sure, I hope you all enjoyed what you call in the sense, I hope you enjoyed about the whole summary. Or I know it's very difficult to cover every certification in more detail, but in the Q&A, I can probably touch base on few Q&As. I think now few people are just joined. I know there are few members who are just here only for setup C, or if I pronounce it rightly, CDPSE. Okay, let me now break that suspense. Okay, it's not suspense, it's there, but many people joined. I know the session only for setup C. I can see the these questions which was there in the registration form. Many people said they want to know setup C, they want to know setup C, setup C, setup C. So that's fine. Okay, first of all, this certification is just brand new. It is still not yet out completely. Means it is not out there for you to take exam. Exams are not out there. That will start next year. I'm sure all of you know. I don't know how many of you know this term called as this term. I don't know if you remember even the early certification series Seagate when it was introduced. Whenever ISACA introduced new certification, there will be something called as grandfathering. So grandfathering today is basically, what is grandfathering? I know it sounds a little tricky. It's not about you have to be a grandfather. Grandfathering is basically you are working in the same domain. You are already an experienced guy. You have so much of experience, and you don't want to take exam. Rather, you want to contribute back to ISACA, saying that, boss, my experience, I want to contribute back to the certification. And then you can just fill a application form like any other application form. And grandfathering today is renamed or called as early adoption program. I think that's what I wanted to make it clear. So early adoption, please, I once again repeat, this certification is still not yet completely, when I say completely, it is just, I think this is where probably I'll spend some time, maybe again, I can give a pause, and I know I'm been talking, but okay, once again to engage you back, once again to come back to you. And because see, I did not want to have any polls, because normally in a CP session we do a lot of polls just to see that you're paying attention. But here I'm sure you all joined to listen to all this, so you are paying attention, I'm sure. So I did not want to have poll, but equally I wanted to use the chat window. So are you all excited to know about setup C? So can you say yes and setup C? Can you type yes and CDPSC? I want to see many yes and setup C in the chat window. Then only I'll move forward. Otherwise I'll not move forward. I want 137. There are 137 people live now. Anyway, just lighter note, just to let me drink some water. Okay, great. So I'm sure all of you are with me, and I just so all this information what I put in slide is already there in the website. But of course, I thought I just made the slide so that to make it very easy, crisp in one slide, because that's where it becomes much easy for you to understand. So I think it's not that I'll go back to the website. I'll go back to the site, which is much more better explained. So first of all, this certification is just released. I should say May 4th only. The domains were announced by ISACA. Even I myself was waiting desperately to see, because please understand, the moment it was launched, there were hundreds of questions, phone calls, because again, I'm part of this fraternity, part of this community. So a lot of people called me and asked, Satish, what is this new certification all about? How does it differentiate by CIPP, CIPPIT or CIPM? How does it differentiate? Even I was more curious to know what is the certification out there. But I finally, when I look at the domains, I understood that this is a great certification ISACA bought in to complement. Let's be very clear. This is the world of collaboration and complementing each other. No competition at all. While I have all respects to IIC Square, IAPP, of course, many bodies. I'm also a member of many of them. But please understand, please understand with the GDPR, with the PDPA coming in, with the CCP already out, and with the Singapore Privacy Act on, and many more countries to come in. Please understand, ISACA is a global body. Globally, the certification, so basically ISACA felt that there is a need to have a certification for people with technology competence also to participate in the privacy journey, because please understand, I just spoken earlier in my CISO discussion, security by design is what I normally evangelize. I normally talk so loud that security by design is what works. Similar way, privacy by design is what today every privacy professionals want, or they speak in every forum about privacy by design. In that context, if I do not look at the various controls or various aspects, and we all agree with me, it's all technology, but so again, I'm not trying to, I'm not debating. I do not want to create a debate here. While there are other certifications purely focus on governance aspects, purely focus on laws, standards, jurisdictions, PII. I know mostly, again, I have a lot of legal friends who have got into the journey of privacy. Purely today, many certifications are focused on governance, management, risk management. The first one, please understand, domain 1 of setup C. I'm not saying it is essential. That's why ISACA also talks about that. But do you all agree, along with the domain 1, I really am excited, super excited to say the way these domains have been brought in. I know it'll go through a lot of refinement. Domain 2, domain 3, I think you can see this, the middle box. I love the way they have put it. Infrastructure, technology stack, the whole SMAC stack, cloud-based, endpoints, remote access, system hardening, applications, AppSec, SDLC. Don't you feel all this will impact privacy? Of course, a big yes. A big yes. Now that's where was the missing piece. Now, that is the point about, so again, it's not only about domain 1. Domain 1 is differently, there are a lot of certifications which talks about the governance piece, management piece, risk management piece, but to complement that certifications, it's equally important to have professionals who are technically competent or working in this domain, who probably are equally, like example, like me. I'm also curious too, because please understand, small organizations, the CISO only plays the role of even the DPO or the privacy. It's not that, see, only big organizations like Infosys, Wipro, or big organizations can have CISO, CIO, CPO, Chief Privacy Officer, Chief Risk Officer. But please understand, in small organizations, I don't want to tell, but in my organization, I play all that hats because small organizations. So I'm super excited to see that, yes, I can definitely contribute back to the privacy implementation. Domain 2, I'm sure all of you, if you understand a little bit of technology, encryption, hashing, because my organization is PCI DSS and compliant, we do a lot of work on HSMs, encryption, decryption, key management, because that's the only way to protect your PII, whatever personal data travels, whether data in rest, data in motion, data, whether you archive, you have to ensure that the respective PII or sensitive information has all the controls of encryption, hashing, sorting, and access management. I love this domain too, the way it has been put. Equally, it doesn't end there. It's all about data, and data. Yes or no? Domain 3 talks about the whole data life cycle. The purpose in which you collect, the purpose in which you store, the purpose in which you use the whole data flow. Many organizations, lighter side, don't take me wrong, many organizations today in endpoint security context today with the COVID situation, work from home, started implementing DLP, but in every DLP implementation, the first thing is to ask, where is the data? That's always a mystery question which is never answered. if you go back to the IT or go back to business and ask where is data, they'll start scratching head. Data is everywhere. Data is all over. Until you don't have a data inventory, I know I'm talking too much. Until you, it's like you see that's also the sad part of when I talk, even the intro session, I start teaching again. Anyway, I hope if you're enjoying, that's fine. But if you're getting bored, please type in the chat window. You're getting bored, I will probably stop. But if you're enjoying, that's fine. So we can probably definitely I can talk about. So this domain 3, I love the way they have put it. So I'm sure when I'm sure all of you know, I once again repeat, right now this certification is open for early adoption for guys who already have been working. Imagine each one of you, or who are, imagine in this group there are 10, 20, 30 people who have been already working in the privacy domain for last 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and you know that you have been working, and your supervisor, your manager, your company can vouch for that, means you already have experience. And if you at least have 3 to 4 years of experience in 2 of these domains listed below, why I said 3, 4 years, I'm just giving the discount of, if you already are certified on CISA, CISM, or one of the certification listed there, so there, in fact, you get 2-year waiver. Okay, if you say, no, I'm not certified, that's fine, no issue. But you already say, no, I'm already working in domain for more than 5 years. Excellent, excellent. Just go to the website, just apply. It is like, I don't know how many of you know, many of you guys who already CISA, CISM, all of you agree with me, once you pass the exam, after passing exam, you fill the application form. How many of you, okay, quickly, I don't have poll here. How many of you in this group are already CISA, CISM certified? Okay, how many of you in the group are already certified and fill the form? I know if you're certified, you fill the form. The application form you submitted to ISACA to showcase your experience. After passing exam, I'm sure many of you know, after passing exam is only the first step. So after passing exam, you fill the application form to get your experience vouched by your it's called verifier. So who got, all of you guys who got certified, it is the same application form. Because I don't want to show the form, because the form is not publicly available, but you can take the same form, or you can reach out to me offline. I can show you the form, because I already a few days back, one of my mentee, means of course I've been doing a lot of mentoring. So one of the guy who said, Satish, I want to jump into this. So he quickly took paid the fees. I know there's I hope all of you know, he paid the fees. Once you pay the fees, application fees, you ISACA will send you an application form. So of course I helped that guy to fill the form, because he was having some clarification, and normally he looks at me as a mentor. So fine. So it is the same application form which you filled for CISA and CISM. It is same application, no change at all. There you just showcase your experience and just submit it by verifying the experience to ISACA, and of course you will be certified. Means of course it's all, ISACA goes by the code of professional ethics, and of course they go by what you say, and if you have experience and if you can showcase the experience, someone verifies, you fill the form. Of course the form is complete, you paid the fees, you complete the first step is paying fees, second step you fill the form, and third step submitted, you are certified. Now please understand, I once again repeat, no examination taken, because you already have experience. The purpose, objective of early adoption is to ISACA wants to respect, wants to, what do you call, okay, respect is the wrong word, probably they want to they want to reward you. Oh yes, that's the right word. I'm sorry, I don't get words. They want to reward you with the certification without taking exam, because you already have the experience. You already a CISA, you already have experience, so you get certified. Grandfathering, you are absolutely right. So grandfathering, new name is early. So I think this screen has been there for long. I think you all, I'll give the slides. It's not this whole recording is being, the recording will be into the YouTube channel, or you can reach out to me. I will do the slide recording. Now let's go back. Please understand, it is not rocket science. Everything what I put in slide is coming from this page only. Oh, this is wonderful. Early adoption open now. Privacy in short focus. Whatever is spoken just now, you already are working the domain. The technical, this is, I call people who have this question of why one more privacy certification, I call to, this is around more technical to showcase the technical expertise. You already have technical privacy expertise. This is a very differentiation certification. I say, again, I'm not certified nor applied because please understand, this is open for 1 year. Apply for certification and you become the first to get certified. This early adoption is open for 1 year. I repeat once again, it is open for 1 year. Next, I think somewhere till May, till 21. Oh, if you feel, no, Satish, I don't have experience, I cannot apply, no problem, just wait. Even I won't wait, probably, I don't know, I have to make my mind, because even series when grandfather was opened, I never took, I said I will wait for the manual to come, because again, it's my passion to read the manual, I like to take exam, I like to get challenged myself. I say, okay, while by the time series came, I was already working in this domain, more than 10 years experience I had. I said, no, because I want to give some work to my brain, I said, let me wait for the manual. I waited for the manual. The manual came, start reading. I went through that, took the exam, passed. Similar way, probably, I don't know, I may wait for this exam to come in. But then if you feel you already have the experience, please go right away, apply for certification. And these are the 3 domains which I already covered in more detail. This is what I covered in more detail. The 3 domains, very detailed listing. It's all there again there. So if I go to details, press here, you get the information there. Now learn more, and you can straight go there, and you can see this. You can straight go there and apply. That's it. You can straight go there, and there's an apply button somewhere. Maybe I missed that button. There are 3-step process. You apply. I know you will have a lot of questions because, okay, let me put a question. Someone already put a question in today morning in WhatsApp. Satish, I want to apply, but I don't know whether I'm qualified. Will my application be passed or not? Don't worry. You apply, you pay fees. I know you're paying a big money, $649. But if you are not, your application is rejected, or okay, rejected is the wrong word. Probably ISACA felt that you do not have the right experience. They will refund back your money by taking a $50 processing fee. Will be refunded. Don't worry at all. Of course, you can reach out to me. I can help you whether you have experience or not, or whether you can take waiver or not. I can help you to do that. But otherwise, don't worry. Apply for certification. I'm sure all of you know this one. Step 1, qualify. Step 2, pay the fees. If you're a member, I know people complain it's a steep price. That's fine. We cannot. It's the same price for me also. I can't help. It's ISACA. So I know India people, the dollar is expensive. But then yes, again, I told you it's a value what you get. So the value is great. You apply and see 3 to 4 weeks. I already saw some post today morning, because I keep track in Reddit. I saw a Reddit post. Hey guys, I got the certificate. Maybe already he was so early. I don't know whether maybe he got a mail that his application was accepted. I don't know. But yes, so people have started already. In fact, I think in the recent leadership call, we understood that there's so much of gung-ho on the certification. The moment it got opened, people are jumping to apply. Yes, because it's a great certification. People already started applying. I know a few of my own friends and colleagues, and of course the guys who have been coaching, mentoring, already applied, paid the fees. They're waiting for that mail to come that they're certified. I'm sure they'll be certified because they have the enough experience. So that's all about the CDPSE. So did I cover everything? I think, see, that's the reason why I'm showing the website. Did I make sense to explain everything what probably you thought? I know you all joined, many of you joined only to understand. That's why today morning, I know it's not that I reinvented, but I put the slide just for many of you, because I know many of the questions came that we are more curious to know. Straight up see, that's the slide. I once again repeat, it is not a certification. Sorry, it is a certification, but exam is not yet out. Exam will be available next year. I am also waiting, but right now, yes, definitely could please share email. Yes, of course. My last slide will be my email ID. Don't worry. I think some questions are coming, but anyway, don't worry. My email ID is all over there. Or you Google my name, very unique name. Or sorry, you go to LinkedIn, you will find me. Don't worry. YouTube link. You go to YouTube, and I will share this. I will share this over email. Of course, I'm there everywhere on most of the social channels. You can catch me, not issue at all. This will be mailed to you, or the recording is already getting recorded. I will post this right away in the YouTube channel for your later viewing. I know I'm talking. I hope my voice is clear, but it will be recorded. I think it's time for me to stop my I've been talking. I think I should put a pause at least, and maybe go back to one of my. I don't know if my panelists are still around. I know technology sometimes drops those, and I had to promote them as panelists. But I'm just trying to see, or I'm okay. Even attendees, I know by default attendees are in listen only mode. But any one of you, if you want to put your own thoughts, please say unmute me. I will unmute. There's nothing that you are not supposed to talk. I will be happy to unmute one of the participants. I know. So the reason for using webinar platform, so that you're all, there's no disturbance. So normally when someone uses Zoom meeting platform, people can unmute themselves. Here there's a lot of control environment. Is there anyone want to volunteer to put your thoughts? Again, not questions. Again, thoughts. Because questions, I'll differently. I will address each questions. Or also I will ask you to unmute, and if anyone want to just share your thoughts only, I mean just your thoughts or any comments, please tell me. I will unmute. I'm looking at the chat window. I can see no one wants to talk. That's fine. I'm okay. But if anyone wants to, okay, unmute. Anup Dev. Okay. Okay, Anup. Yes, but you have to make it crisp. It's not a question. I'm sorry. Because I'll definitely, but yes, definitely I will unmute you, because you are the first one to say unmute. And yes, with all great thing, I'm just trying to search you. Where is Anup? Great Anup. Yes, I found you. I just said you are allowed to talk. Now you have to unmute, and please go and find unmute, and please go ahead. 2 minutes only, please.
Thank you, Satish. I'm attending this session for the second time.
Excellent.
I'm based at Singapore. I work for Palo Alto Networks.
Welcome, sir. Welcome. Welcome, and great to see you, sir.
The CDPSC, domains are pretty interesting, primarily because privacy has become, and you have reiterated it in your presentation number of times. It has become so important that technologies like us.
So if you don't mind, you have to talk a little louder. I don't know, maybe the voice is a little low. If you don't mind.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now it's a little better.
So the technologies like us, we in our day-to-day work, we really have to talk about privacy, and with the emergence of GDPR, and even in the US, the Californian Act coming in Singapore, you have the Privacy Act as well. So this is a very relevant course for ISACA members, and I welcome that this is one domain which is coming up. So thank you very much, and I think you've covered what we wanted to know today.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Anup. In fact, a big thank you for joining. First of all, I really appreciate, and it's a privilege to have you in this session from Singapore, that too from Palo Alto. I have high regards, high respects to Palo Alto. Of course, I love Palo Alto, and yeah, we can't afford, but yes, a lighter side. Don't take it seriously. And I still remember when I went to US to see my son, and I have a few friends in Palo Alto, the place in US. In fact, one of my friends lives in Palo Alto. Again, just lighter side, sharing my personal story. My son studies in US, and he wanted to have a Stanford. He studies in Duke University, but he want to have it tour on to Stanford. So I think to go to Stanford, you have to go to Palo Alto, and I called a friend. He said, Satish, just come to Palo Alto, and I'll take you there. And again, nothing about that Palo Alto, but yes. So thanks once again, and please go back to mute, sir, and definitely we'll address some more questions. And thank you once again. So anyone else want to I can because again I'm just trying to make it more engaging. It's not that only I'm talking. Okay.
Yeah, we can have at least one or two more mute. I think we heard one.
Excellent. Yeah, great. So thanks. I'm very happy to make this a very, what do you call, I think let's make it more interactive, because I know while this session doesn't allow you to unmute, but Prakash, yes, I think again, Prakash, I keep seeing him in all our sessions. And thank you, Prakash, once again for joining. And again, quick 2 minutes, your comments, please.
Hi, Satish. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, just I want to say that, I have been into information security for past 5 to 6 years in banking. But, I wanted to shift to auditing, and I did my CISA. CISA gave me a lot of way of, many things to learn, new things. I was into security, but the aspects and the way in which we need to look into the things I got from the CISA. That was I wanted to share.
Excellent, Prakash. I really appreciate. Thanks for this. For coming forward to speak. See, people like you, especially banking industry veterans like you, when you talk, I think because all participants are very curious to see how they can benefit. Maybe if you want to still speak more about your journey, CISA, CISM, and also I'll be happy if you can talk about the Bangalore chapter events. Are you enjoying? I can see you attending our event CP sessions.
Yeah, though I am associated with Delhi chapter because of my address, but I think I have not missed any CP sessions of Bangalore chapter. It is so interactive, and I was into Bangalore, so maybe because of that I'm more into that. I started first my certification with CISM because I went to security, so I wanted to start my certification from CISM because it was easy for me, because I was well acquainted with the chapters, domains, and all. And then while I was moving into auditing, I started, and then I gave CISA. So now I am preparing for C-Risk. I think due to lockdown, I have got time to study at least for C-Risk. So I will be, I think, giving the exam in 2 to 3 months, 2 months in C-Risk.
Oh, great. So Prakash, you are a brand ambassador for ISACA. So thank you very much. Now we cannot have than you, because I'm very happy that you unmuted and you are giving this, because it gives it's not me talking, because first of all, we're not selling, we're all helping each other. And I'm very glad and happy to see you. And I'm very happy that we're doing something. And you took the right point in the COVID situation, lockdown. In fact, it was very difficult because we keep doing this Bangalore chapter at the chapter office. We do these sessions. In fact, what do you call? Normally we have one CP session in the chapter office. One was online, but with the current situation, we started doing more online. And you'll not believe, I don't know, many of you know or don't know, last CP session about the cyber security risk management from a veteran guy from KPMG, we had 500 participants. In fact, it was full because our webinar platform supports only 500. In fact, I got at least 30-40 messages saying that, Satish, we are unable to join. It was overwhelming. I thank each one of them. It is going really great. I'm very happy that we're able to provide value back to the members and see why we are opening to everyone. I said he's but attending Bangalore because it's fine. It's not about chapter. It's fine because we have such a big room, and let everyone take the benefit of what we are doing. So great. Okay, excellent. I'm very happy. Thanks.
So Satish, Satish, there are a couple of more who wants to be unmuted.
Excellent. So I'm sorry, I'm not seeing the chat window. Okay, Praveen.
Yeah.
Excellent. Oh, thank you very much, Venki. So there are many more. Venki, you can also unmute, and you have the rights. Only panelists can unmute. You can search and unmute. Start unmuting one by one. And can you unmute? Meanwhile, I'll have a little water. Yeah, Venki, go ahead, please. Venki, start unmuting.
I'm unable to unmute Satish.
Okay, so fine. Yeah, no issue. You have to press the attendee, right click and say allow to talk, but I'll do it. So Praveen Kulkarni, I'm just going by order. Praveen Kulkarni wants to unmute. So let me find Praveen Kulkarni. I'll search Praveen. Yeah, Praveen Kulkarni. Yeah, I found you. Yeah, Praveen, you're unmuted. Sorry, it means you're allowed to talk now. Also,
Hi.
each one of them who already spoken, please go back to mute by yourself. Yeah, Praveen, please go ahead.
Satish, thanks for the sessions. I've been enjoying all the sessions of the Bangalore chapter. Since more than 6 months, I've been associated with this Bangalore chapter. So I'm also a member of the ISACA chapter, Bangalore chapter.
So if you don't mind, if you can introduce yourself, that will be good for the benefit of everyone. Where do you work and from which city you came to Bangalore? That will help us also.
I'm working in Bangalore
Okay.
for Cisco company.
Excellent, great, sir. Very good.
I've been into this infrastructure as an architect, as an implementation, and all of those things into the infrastructure domain only.
Perfect.
So the IAM and all is being covered. I mean, I have undergone that area.
Okay.
But I don't have any certifications, any of those from the ISACA, CISA, CISM.
No problem. I think that's good. That's why you're here, and we are happy to help you to take some certification. I can guide you. Maybe you can start with. You come from infra background. You can start with CISM. Anyway, we'll definitely discuss. I'm very happy. Anything?
No, my question is, I mean,
so right now we are not taking questions, sir. It's only comments only. We'll definitely take the end because I still want to cover a few things. Anyway,
so can we go for CDPC?
Okay, I think I already covered very clearly. Are you working in privacy for more than 5 years? Pretty simple question, yes or no. That's it. Simple question. Are you been working in privacy for more than or 4 to 5 years? If it's yes, please go ahead. If it's no, wait for the manual to come. So, did I answer your question?
Just to add to that, Satish, Praveen, I think if you're looking for the early adoption, as Satish correctly pointed out, you need to have minimum 5 years experience. But if you're looking for certification, once it is full-fledged certification post May 2021, then you're allowed to take the certification. There is no precursor or no requirement that you need to have any other certification before taking CDPS.
Absolutely.
So that could be your first certificate as well.
Yeah. So thanks for pointing out that. I'm sorry if I did not answer correctly. For early adoption, you need to have the experience. As
yeah, I have 16 years. I thought.
Oh, wonderful, sir. Then you are then why you're waiting for? If you are, I'm again repeating, 16 years maybe overall. I completely agree with you. But probably if you can showcase for the last 3 to 4 years, or because you do not have CISA, CISM and all, if you can showcase last 4 to 5 years, you have been working into 2 of the domains which are listed below. That's what I told you. I think it's very clearly this way written. So if you have experience, if you can showcase the experience of 2 domains which are listed here, please please apply, pay the fees. The application form will come to you. Please fill the form. I will help you to fill the form and apply. And I'm sure if you can showcase the experience, I'm sure your verifier, your manager, your whoever will be able to walk. Yes, this guy has been working in privacy. That's it, done. And you are certified, sir. You are first certified, and we will all celebrate along with you. And absolutely, you can, definitely. But if you feel that, please wait, as Venki said. Okay, once again, I repeat, each of the certifications do not have any prerequisites. The whole purpose is to study, learn, and of course, so each of the certifications gives you the ability to go study, read the manual, body of knowledge, learn. That's where we come in chapter classes, and then exam, pass, and then apply certification. But because it's a new certification, they are allowing the adoption, what we call grandfathering. I hope we answered your point.
Okay. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for volunteering to speak. I still would like to again, because naturally we are more curious to get some good words. But if anyone still want to add some value about ISACA, means want to tell about their ISACA experience, their Bangalore chapter experience, their experience on CISA, CISM, that will probably give them some assurance to the other people who are probably waiting in the fence. See, I know there are a lot of guys in this room, or sorry, in the webinar, who are just waiting that, oh, let me just take the certification, so that so they are waiting. So if they will be happy to get some insights from the fellow guys again, if or maybe let me finish my presentation and then we can get back. So coming back to my, again, there's not much of why I jumped to CFC, because I had a slide on that. Okay, let's get back to my own agenda, so that I'll jump to questions. I know we are running short of time, so I think I covered everything. CFC is CDPS is covered. Isaka Engage is a wonderful, wonderful place. I request all of you, just type engage.isaka.org. It's an amazing place to get connected. You will not believe the amount of discussions going on there. Oh, I love this place. In fact, one of my team member himself, who is also today into this group, and means anyway, if I can ask him, maybe Anand, if I can ask only quick 1 minute, how you love this Engage platform, because it's so much engaged in the Engage platform. Maybe Anand, if you can just unmute and talk just 1 minute about how do you love this Engage platform. That will be really helpful for the members. If you are listening, if you want to cover, just quick 1 minute thought.
Yes, Satish, I will try to cover the Engage platform. So, hi everybody. So basically, I am very, engaged with Engage platform, and it really values for getting various information and get addressed for your day-to-day or unique requirements. I really use this platform to interact with domain experts. If you see in this particular domain, there are so many communities which are relevant with your domains. You can go by one by one. Is it audible to everyone?
Yes, very clear, loud and clear.
Yeah, okay. So basically, there are specific communities. You can definitely be a part of communities which is free to join, and you can raise your queries. You will get the responses from the domain experts. I am one of the volunteer for the rising professional as a community. So as a part of rising professional, I also get a chance to respond to the queries which normally ISACA members reports. The Engage platform is not you need not to have a ISACA membership as such. You can go and register yourself, and you can interact with the platform leaders, and you can interact with other members also. If you see, each of the domain or the community has the members. You can see that 3.5k members, and the discussions 12k members are there. So you can get the value of your you get the proper answers, you get the value of your certification, and you interact with the domain experts, which is a fantastic exposure which ISACA is providing to us, and is allowing us to interact with the domain experts. So this is my experience while working with the ISACA Engage platform. Again, I repeat, it is completely free. It has no real relevance with the ISACA membership. You can go register and
Thanks.
continue. Yeah.
Thanks, Anand, very much for your insights. You can see, including the communities, if you are giving ISA exam, and if you participate in this ISA exam community, can you see the discussions going on? There are 6K discussions going on. I can see the amount of, I just joined today because I'm so busy in my work. I today joined the privacy community, and I was amazed to see the discussions on CDPC and the discussions on privacy. It is amazing. I love this place. Of course, somehow I really appreciate Anand that it takes your time, and I know you require a lot of time. Already my time goes in other volunteering things, but yes, it's a great place to really be here. I recommend all of you to just engage.isaka.org, and yes, you are there. Of course, if you are a member, then you can get more resources. As Anand said, you can participate, but then it gives references back to, say, some frameworks, or so there. If you are a member, again, because my interest is also is to get you a member, because if you become a member, then you get access to a lot of other resources like COBIT and other journals, framework standards. So all that you get more access. Again, but of course, as Anand said, you can definitely engage with the Engage platform so that you get. So that's all about ISACA Engage. So I'm covering everything. So ISACA Resources Journal, I covered already. Please go to isaka.org, go to resources. tons and tons and tons of resources. You pay the membership fees, but then you get double, triple, 10 times of value out of framework standards, the COVID focus, podcast, webinars, whatnot. Amazing. I love. I'm a platinum member. I've been paying, I'm renewing continuously for the last 14 years. You understand? Because without value, I don't think I'll be renewing myself. So with that, I think we are more or less done. So finally at the Bangalore chapter, I'm sure all of you know. So we have been constantly doing these classes. I'm sure all of you know. In fact, in the last before the lockdown itself, we had this CISA and series batches. We just started CISA series batches before lockdown, and suddenly means first domain was covered, and then lockdown started. But because we already had a good houseful batch, normally chapter. And we had to, because it's a commitment, right? But because thanks to the Zoom webinar platform, so we continued the classes over Zoom and completed the batch of CISA and series both. I'm not sure if any participant is here in this session, but others probably can straight listen from them. I forgot to get one of them, so they were very happy. In fact, okay, let me add some. Very interesting point. We had a participant, very interesting, from Ethiopia. Means I would love to get that guy here from Ethiopia. I don't know, because he just came to India, landed in Hyderabad. He went to the Hyderabad chapter, and somehow he was inquiring. He found a post of mine in LinkedIn. He connected with me. We had an intro session in a hotel, and then he came to Bangalore to attend the session. Then he said, "Satish, amazing! I want to join your classes." He joined the classes. First domain, he came from Hyderabad to Bangalore to attend the class, and then he went back to Hyderabad, and from there the next 4 domains, because we do these weekend classes each Sunday, each day is a full day covering one domain. That's why you see CISA 5 days, because 5 domains, and all the 4 domains he was attending over Zoom, or sitting in Hyderabad. He's still stuck in Hyderabad because of he cannot travel back to Ethiopia. He works in a large enterprise in audit function. I think because there is no local chapter, no training there, he came here. He's stuck there, but he's still in touch with me. He says that it was amazing to see the chapter classes from ISACA Bangalore. And I'm not sure, is there anyone here in this group who can talk about the classes? But otherwise, yes. If anyone want to, I don't know, because that was not the audience. This is a different audience. But yes, our chapter classes are very, very valuable, I can only say. And with the amount what you pay, because please understand, the amount what you see below, it is just a very small amount, because we are all volunteers there, because it's not, it's all giving back. It's just a very nominal amount what we charge for members, non-members. And normally we do classroom, but because of the current situation, I doubt we will be able to go back to the class, at least for the next, I think at least 2 to 3 months, we will not be able to do. See, even this intro session also, we never thought we'll do it online, because it made us to do online because of the current situation. But I'm thankful, because of online, we are able to get people from even Singapore, right? Mr. Anup from Singapore is able to join this because he's out there. So I don't know, but we are planning, because why starting soon? Because we just want to do this session first and want to get your interest first. And whoever is interested, please drop a line. I'm sure in this same session, in fact, I forgot to mention, along with our, again, I did not mention, because probably I'm sorry, but along with the Bangalore chapter, in fact, I don't know how, whether can I tell or not, but along with the chapter board, because this board is all volunteers. Apart from that, we also have a chapter manager, Mr. Subramaniam. I think he's also there in the session, attending the session. I just asked him to attend the session to give me feedback. Now he is out there supporting us 24/7. He's also working from home naturally. And once you drop one line to him, to chapter@isakabangalore.org, or you can call him on his hand phone. These are 2 hand phone numbers what he's got currently. He will definitely support you too. So my request is to please drop one line to him. He's the chapter manager called Subramaniam. I'm sure he's listening, and he'll be a great support to get you to roll the ball, and we will I'm sure, so we are very keen to do these sessions online because it is a great platform and it is much easy. You can join from anywhere. Of course, the purpose is for Bangalore chapter members, but then because if it's online, we are okay, anyone. But again, of course, we want minimum numbers to start the batch. So I told you we just finished CISA and CRISC. We were about to start CISM, but then this lockdown started. So probably we may start because already there are few inquiries for CISM batch, but because it's online, we can also run parallel batches. And if you can if whoever is interested quickly, you can drop, we are not asking to pay any money right now. Just drop one line to chapter@isakabangalore.org. You can just drop one line, interested CISA, interested CISM, interested CRISC. That's it. We will get back to you and we will get the registration process done and we will quickly start the batch. I know it will take a week or 2 weeks time. Naturally, we are all volunteers, we have our day jobs, but it requires a lot of coordination. But we are keen to do these batches because online it really works well. If I saw some questions, I'm interested to join the chapter review classes in the chapter office. Sir, we also would love to do the chapter office, but you know the situation, current situation. I doubt we can go back, means chapter will function, but even if I open chapter classes physically, because of social distancing, because of the lot of apprehensions, I doubt people would come to chapter office to attend this class in a large number. And please understand, I cannot run a class in chapter office for 2 or 3 participants. We need at least minimum 10 participants to run a batch because it requires a lot of efforts. It requires a lot of, there's a cost. I need to get the faculty. I need to, there's a platform cost, you know, that's the cost what we're charging from you. But then it's a lot of efforts goes in arranging class. And believe me, trust me, these classes are amazing. I don't have numbers because I told you when a guy from Ethiopia is coming and attending class, and again, lighter note, sometimes people in Bangalore, other part of city, they say, sorry, your chapter is very far. I take nowadays taking example, people from Ethiopia, Mysore, Mangalore coming attending classes, and people from Electronic Whitefield feel chapter is very far. I'm sure all of you are most welcome to visit your chapter. It's in the Orient Mall Road. It's just bang opposite the St. Teresa Hospital. I know it's not right now, but post-COVID lockdown, everything back to normalcy. You are most welcome to attend to the chapter. And we will definitely, we are eager to get back to chapter events, also physical events. But till that point of time, we will continue giving value to all the members through this online platform. It's going amazing. I can see the participation in the last 3-4 CP sessions. I did not speak about CP. CP stands for Continuing Professional Education, people who got certified. For them to give value back to the CPs, we give the CP sessions. You're also welcome to attend the CP session. Next week, we have an amazing session by a industry guru on the SOC, that is the Security Operations Center, by a very veteran guy working in a very large bank. Just stay tuned. Next Saturday, please join same time. You can listen to him, nuts and bolts of Cybersecurity Operations Center. And I think with that, I should put a pause. When I say pause, and get back to questions, and so that we are back on track. So this is the slide